That's a doozy. Now, I'm going to start this off in a language I'm not very familiar with, and some of you are, so if I butcher it, I'm sorry. And thank you for your patience for those who do not understand. All right, let me know. Hola, mi nombre es William-Patrick Coleman. Soy el padrino de Alex y estoy muy emocionado de estar en esta hermosa ciudad con todo y mi grande Tercero, thank you. All right, I don't know what that means, but Alex taught me that, so that I just wanted to start with that. Thank you very much. All right, that's all I know in your wonderful language. I'm sorry. For those of you who don't know, my name is William-Patrick Coleman, and I have the most honored position of being your best man for this service. If you don't mind, I'd like to say a few words on behalf of my best friend here, Alexander Jared Hume, and his beautiful bride, Griselda. He looks gorgeous tonight. I've known Alex for the better part of almost 35 years. 35 years. Much longer than all my friends combined, maybe half of my own siblings even. We were next door neighbors in Las Vegas, Nevada, before the community vastly grew. I figure a lot of the reason why Alex asked me, in particular, to accept this honor tonight was for that reason. Surely the other reasons being I may be the only sober member of the groomsmen by this point, and maybe the most articulate and over-descriptive. But that, other than Adric, of course, that brings me back to being the most sober one by now. For the record, over there at table 5 are the rest of the groomsmen, and Alex's close friends down the road there: Cedric, Adric, Chris Gatling, Matthew, and Jose, who is missing. But we are all close friends from Vegas. Now, I remember the very first day that I met Alex, and he hates this story, but I'm going to tell it again one last time. It actually is the earliest memory I have in my life. My mother and I were coming home from my first day of kindergarten, maybe a year before or something like that, and my mother pulls over to the side of the road to talk to Melody Hume, who is here this evening. The front yard of Melody, and then suddenly I noticed this little curious toddler waddling up to his mother's leg, wrapping himself around her. Now, our eyes meet, but no words, nothing, just this sort of confusion. Then bam, jets back to his house. I mean, no exchange of dialogue, no introduction, just bow legs his way back towards the front door, diaper hanging halfway off his ass. It might be the earliest memory I've managed to contain for myself, this sort of look of judgment that I would know and come to love for the next 34 years. Now, I know I'm going to throw around the word friends a lot, but I believe a clear distinction between that term and family is that you can't really choose your family. And poor Alex couldn't get away from me if his life depended on it. We had the fortunate or unfortunateness of growing up next to each other for the next 13 years. We never moved out of our childhood homes. We were in meetings in our front yards across the gate, sharing music interests, throwing dirt clods, talking about girls and what movies we loved at that moment and whatnot. But despite our age difference, him sharing some of my older friends, and me sharing some of his younger ones, including half the crew you see here, as well as really close ones who couldn't be here today, like Athen, Perry Bobo, and the late greats Mason and Ryan. We even managed to develop the same similar style of odd-like humor, shaping what we would come to find funny for years to come in the rest of our lives. I'll spare everyone's stories down memory lane, certain ones that would contain details and eventually become personal urban legends between us and our close friends, especially involving any words like Cannon or Silverado, Treasure Island or Vacation Village, Colonnade or Gameworks, Party Whales or Steamy Hot Plastic. I'll jump from when Alex graduated high school at the age of 18 to when we got our first apartment together near the college campus. Now, I assure you, it gets way more historic and exciting from there, but for fear of how it may mislead everyone into confusing our characters with the ignorant and reckless decisions that we've made at the time of our lives when we could afford to make them, I'll spare you those stories as well, maybe for another time. But just for the record, I have yet to hear anybody that could throw a most ridiculous and asinine house parties that Alex and I have thrown and would commit to. Parties that would unite us, parties that would divide us, parties that would grab the attention of local authorities, and even pay our rent from time to time. You see, it's within these particular moments in our friendship when Alex would develop into this person, we always kind of knew who he was. And to put it shortly, Alex was our leader. And he's not the most responsible, not without the most fault within our group, just the person that the most of us loved, respect, and listened to. I've never met anybody that didn't like Alex, and I doubt that I ever will. I'm sure they exist, but I'm just saying I would never be friends with them. So within my world, or maybe ours, they don't. It would only be a matter of time before he would meet someone special. Gris is different than a lot of Alex's girlfriends, which is another subject not appropriate for this speech. He had some sweet ones and questionable ones, but all in all, Gris is the one. She's adorable, she's beautiful, she's sweet, and more than anything, when I met her, she was super strong, secure, confident, and supportive. I mean, she's great. We're talking diabetics, stay away from her. She's just so sweet. And after 8 years of their relationship, I can't say enough great things about her and how great they are together and the person that she inspired him to become. The type of girl I would want someone I love more than myself to meet. Tonight is not about the past. Tonight is barely even about tonight. Tonight is about the future, where we're going with it, and the celebration of a wonderful, secure, and honest relationship that represents that idea tonight. I would like to end this ridiculously long speech, of course, with a toast. If everybody could please raise their glasses. A specific toast meant to honor the worth of a number of lifelong friendships that I'm fortunate enough to be a part of, led by someone I've known all my life and we admire greatly, now gaining the addition of his queen. Cheers to the past, who we were, came from, and grew to become, and drink to the future of Alex and Griselda, their love, their loyalty, and secure, loyal future that they share together. Everybody, cheers. Alex and Gris.